Yo, what's up everyone? Back for this main slate that we have for Saturday. I already posted the early slate video, so you can check that out if you're going to be playing that slate. Yesterday I thought we had a chance to cash, but the players in the late games didn't really do much for us, so fell short. Let's get back on track today. We have 2 days left before the break. So on this main slate, we have a nice little, I think, 7-game slate. At pitcher, we have a couple of really good options with Garrett Cole, Giolito, Bumgarner, Syndergaard, Paddock, just top to bottom. Well, for the first 6 guys, you all have pitchers that are in decent spots and can have big games. The pitcher that I like is going to be Noah Syndergaard here at 8,700. Like the price tag on him, he was over 10,000 for much of the season. He hasn't been great or anything. You see a lot of teens out of him, which is not something you want out of a pitcher at this price tag. But I think a matchup against the Phillies is a decent one, especially playing them at home in Citi Field. The Phillies get a big ballpark downgrade. They do strike out a decent amount, especially Harper, who I'm pretty sure is leading the league in strikeouts this season, and Hoskins strikes out a decent amount too. And Kingery's starting to strike out a lot more at the top of the lineup, top of the order, so I think Syndergaard can have a decent game here. He's at a really nice price tag. The Phillies still have one of the lower totals on the slate. 8,700 allows you to pay up for some other bats. So I like him, especially with Garrett Cole in a pretty bad strikeout matchup against the Angels. Giolito's facing a good Cubs team. Bumgarner's at 92 against the Cardinals, all those righties. And then Paddock at 83 facing the Dodgers. I feel like Syndergaard's in the best spot here out of anybody above 8,000. And then the second pitcher I like is going to be very cheap here for Kenta Maeda. Is only 7,700. Maeda is only $6,700 on FanDuel. That seems like a top play over there. On DraftKings, I think is still an above average play. Even though with him, he doesn't really touch 90 to 100 pitches very often. He's getting pulled in the 80s. But the price tag is just very appealing here. As you see, he was over $10,000 in his last start. So we're getting a $2,600 discount in a tremendous strikeout matchup here against the Padres. He had his best game of the season against the Padres, where he put up 41 DraftKings points, 12 strikeouts in just 85 pitches in 6 2/3. He can definitely have a similar strikeout matchup, similar strikeout outcome here. The Padres still strike out a ton. Bunch of righties in the lineup, and Maeda is really good at striking out righties. I like him quite a bit here. The price tag is just too good. At first base, give me Jose Abreu here. Abreu's facing John Lester at $4,500. If you look at the weather conditions in this game, it's supposed to be 14-mile-per-hour winds blowing out. We know Abreu for his career, and this season has been much better against lefties, I believe. This season, he's batting .357 against lefties, 4 home runs, and 84 at-bats. Gives him a solid 226 ISO, a 583 slugging percentage. The strikeouts are big, 14.6% K rate to lefties. He's striking out over 25% to righties. He has about a 32% fly ball rate, only a 30% hard hit rate though. But still, for his career, he's been much better against lefties. Career .307 hitter, .288 against righties. And the power is much higher. Slugging ISO is higher as well. I like Abreu here, especially given the conditions in this game. And at 4,500, he's been really good as of late, very hot, and he has a ton of power. Next up here at third base, I like Alex Bregman here at $5,000. Bregman has been good this season. He's having another spectacular season, already up to 23 home runs. He's been much better against lefties and facing Andrew Heaney, who has already given up 9 home runs this season in just 36 innings. That's over 2.25 home runs per 9. Not good at all. Bregman this season has been hitting the ball fine against lefties. Lots of power. 7 home runs and just 81 at-bats. 309 ISO, 568 slugging percentage. Doesn't strike out that much either. Has a 46% hard hit rate against lefties. 54% fly ball rate. Really good numbers there. Good chance to hit one deep in this one. 302 career hitter against lefties with a lot of power. 249 career ISO and a 551 career slugging percentage. Just a really good numbers here for Alex Bregman, considering that Andrew Heaney does give up a lot of power, as we will see here. So this season, Heaney's given up a 450 slugging to righties, 526 to lefties. For his career, though, he's been much worse against righties, so look at those numbers. 447 career slugging given up to righties. About a 4.45 xFIP, not what you want to see. And he's given up a lot of hard hits and fly balls. Look at the fly ball rate, 26% to lefties, 43% to righties. Like the numbers here a lot for Alex Bregman. Another Astro that I like quite a bit is George Springer. The Astros are a really scary lineup now that Springer's back and healthy and at the top of the lineup. Just like Alex Bregman, Springer crushes lefties. Astros, when they're all healthy, are one of the better teams in baseball against lefties, with Altuve, Springer, and Bregman leading the charge against left-handed pitching. This season, Springer's been a little better against righties, but if you look at 2018, if you look at every other season before, he's been a little better against lefties. And career-wise, he has batting average about 12 points higher against lefties. The slugging and ISO is way higher. 241 career ISO against lefties, 519 slugging percentage. And the advanced numbers are also pretty good here. 34% fly ball rate, almost a 40% hard hit rate. I like George Springer here at 5,400. And last but not least, I like a cheapie from the Cardinals. Jose Martinez, once again, I like him. 2 reasons. 1, he's facing a lefty, and 2, he's very cheap. Only 3,500 facing Bumgarner. Bumgarner's been pretty good as of late, but he still does struggle a little bit against righty power. And Martinez is one of the better lefty hitters in baseball. I bet a lot of people are probably surprised by that, but if you look at the numbers for him, they are outstanding against left-handed pitching. 360 average this season against lefties. He has 5 home runs. It's only a 50 at-bat sample size, but that gives him a 380 ISO. He has almost no power against right-handed pitching, just a .082 ISO. But he has a 740 slugging this season against lefties, just an 11% K rate. He has almost a 39% hard hit rate. And career-wise, he's much better against lefties with a career 337 batting average and a career 259 ISO and a 597 slugging percentage for him. I like him quite a bit facing Bumgarner. Bumgarner, like I said, he's been good in his last couple starts. But if anybody on the Cardinals is going to tag him, I think guys like Martinez make some sense. And Goldschmidt and some of the other righties. Just because if we look here, Bumgarner this season is still struggling against righties. 471 slugging given up and a 276 average. And the Cardinals are an extremely righty-heavy team. So I think he should struggle here. 431 xFIP. 22% K rate against righties. Giving up a 37% fly ball rate and a 47% hard hit rate. So he's getting hit pretty hard against right-handed bats. And I like Martinez at only 3,500. So those are 6 players that I like for this slate. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like on it. And you can subscribe if you haven't already. And some other teams I want to stack today. I think the A's let a lot of people down yesterday. But I still think you can go back to them. Back to the A's just because they are extremely cheap here. Like guys like Chris Davis is still very cheap at 3,700. You have him. You have Laureano at 41. Mark Canha is $600 more than Chris Davis. I would rather play Chris Davis here at 37. Simeon still batting leadoff at 43. Chapman price tag went down to 45. Just a lot of great plays on the A's. Chad Pinder at 37. I think the A's make for a good stack here against Marco Gonzalez, given that they are still a top 5 team in baseball against left-handed pitching. And it's not a great ballpark upgrade, but it's a decent one going from Oakland to Seattle. So I like them a little bit. I'm not going to have much interest here in this game with the Rockies and Diamondbacks, but I think, attacking Robbie Ray with Arenado, Story, they make some sense here. But they are pretty expensive. We're not getting a discount, even though this game isn't in cores. Like Arenado's at 5,000, Story at 52. So I think that makes some sense for GPPs, but I wouldn't build a cash, put them in cash. And then on the Diamondbacks, nobody really sticks out here. They're dealing with some injuries. I think Adam Jones at 3,800 is a nice play. But I do think John Gray's a good pitcher, so I'm not going to have a ton of interest there. Like I said, I like some Cardinals here. They're very cheap. Goldschmidt's at 3,400. Goldschmidt, Edman at 41. He's been good. O'Neal at 35. I think he's decent. I like Jose Martinez a ton at 35. And Dexter Fowler as a switch hitter to the Cardinals makes some for a nice lineup fillers for your primary stack. Won't be stacking them, but I think going with a couple, like 2 or 3 guys on the Cardinals for salary relief makes some sense. And on the Giants, they've been swinging at bats a little better, but facing Mikolas, I'm not going to be super high on them. I think Dickerson's a decent play just because he has a lot of power at 4,100. I like him a little bit, and Belt at 4,000, and Longoria just because he's hot, and if you want to ride the hot streak with him, I don't mind him. And the Mets, I think, are a little appealing just because Arrieta has been so bad against lefties. And they have quite a bit of lefties like Cano at 3,100. I like him. I like Cano. I like Jeff McNeil at 49. And Conforto, I think, make for a nice 3-man stack. And you can throw in first baseman Pete Alonso just because he crushes everything. And the Phillies bullpen has also been very bad over the past month. So those are some other teams I think you can stack on the slate. But for me, I'm going to have most interest in the Astros and some of the righties from the White Sox, I think. And maybe like 1 or 2 Cardinals as a one-offs. But that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. We'll be back Sunday to cover the last slate before the All-Star break. So see you all then.